Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Wednesday Wisdom on the Educational AD Podcast. We'll be right back with this week's guest, but as always, we want to give a shout out to our sponsors. Now, you've heard me say every episode, these are all companies that I used as an athletic director. They're all great companies. That's why I'm recommending you check them out. So take 3 minutes, listen to our shout outs, then listen to our Wednesday Wisdom guest, and then go and visit these sponsors. You're going to be very glad you did. We want to say thanks to Sideline Interactive indoor score tables and video boards. Go to their website and you can schedule a live web demo to see their products in action. Probably one of the best purchases I ever made was our Sideline Interactive indoor score table. Go to sidelineinteractive.com for more information. We also want to say thank you to Huddle. As a football coach, I used Huddle for years. As an AD, I made sure our school was a Huddle school. So go to huddle.com. Your coaches, your student athletes, even your parents are going to love all the tools that Huddle provides. Join the 8 million users. Turn your school into a Huddle school. We also want to say thanks to Vital Signs Wall of Fame. If you're looking for a really cool way to display your school record boards or your school's Hall of Fame, go to their website and take a look at their interactive touch screen video consoles. Put one of these units in your gym lobby or your main school hallway. It's going to be like a magnet for kids, for coaches. How about sponsors? Go to vitalsignswalloffame.com. We also want to say thanks to Snap Raise. Have you ever spent weeks and weeks with a fundraiser and been disappointed in the results? Well, those days are gone. Go to snapraise.com. We used it at our school with tremendous success. I'm telling you, it works. Go to snapraise.com. Check out their other great platforms. But if you're looking for a fundraiser, you just found it, and it's Snap Raise. We also want to say thank you to Gipper. If you've ever wanted to step up your social media game for your teams, your players, go to Gipper.com and let their team help you become a social media marketing expert. It could be a simple social media post to celebrate a victory, or it could be an entire newsletter to showcase all the great things that your department's doing. You're going to find it all at Gipper.com. We want to say thanks to Home Campus. Home Campus is the official high school administration software package for a number of states for thousands of ADs. And even if your state has a different platform for scheduling and results and things like that, you can still be a home campus school. Their athletic eligibility and clearance platform alone is a game changer. Go to homecampus.com for more information, and don't forget to tell them about the podcast. We also want to thank Ohio University and their online masters in athletic administration. My assistant athletic director, along with thousands of others, got his master's through the Ohio program, and it was a great experience. And while all of them were completing their masters, they all received 11 NIAAA leadership training courses at no extra charge. Check out Ohio University and their online masters in athletic administration. We want to thank Hometown for their support. Hometown's changing the game for schools and organizations with their suite of solutions that includes things like, well, digital ticketing, of course. How about fee-free fundraising, athletic website construction? You really got to see it to believe it. Go to hometown.com. Whether you're an AD or a principal, they're going to help you save money, save time, raise more money, and bring your community closer together. That's hometown.com. And we want to thank Athletic Surveys by LifeTrack. At my school, we use surveys for everything: kids, coaches, teachers, even parents. And the information that would come back on these surveys was almost always over the top positive, and it's going to be the same for you. We also got to hear from those squeaky wheel parents, but it gave us a chance to hear their concerns, address them, and keep them from turning into something big. But going back to that positive data, having all of that accessible was a tremendous resource, especially when you might be visiting with your principal or even your school board. Go to athleticsurveys.com. They're going to create a custom survey that lets you take the pulse of everybody in your program. Go to athleticsurveys.com, and as always, don't forget to mention the podcast. Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Wednesday Wisdom on the Educational AD Podcast. We are going back to the Chicago area to visit with somebody I like to call a friend of the show, Kelsi Frank. Kelsi was on the podcast earlier this year, did a wonderful job, thought she'd be a great addition to our Wednesday Wisdom team, and so she's back today. She is I'll say this, soon to be certified athletic administrator. She's the director of athletics at Senn High School. That's Senn, and that's in the Chicago School District. Has a pretty cool background as an athlete, as a coach, and now as an AD. But we're excited to have her back. Kelsi Frank, welcome to Wednesday Wisdom.
Thank you. Welcome back. I'm so excited to be back here in another segment, a different segment so far. I'm glad to see your face again, Jake. It's been a long time coming. We had a few reschedules, but you know what? It's okay. I'm here. We made it. It's a good day.
Well, we've become in this generation again. I'm hundreds of years older than you, but we've become Facebook friends. So I've gotten to follow your summer activities
Yes.
vicariously. So
Yes.
uh, anyway, let's go and jump right in. It's a busy time for ADs. We're recording this in July, so it's going to be pretty timely when you listen to it. I'm going to say it. What do you have for our listeners on Wednesday Wisdom?
Wednesday Wisdom. So a little bit about our school. We had an amazing accomplishment ha happen to our school this past spring. We had a student, Tobias Zeke, who is actually our first male water polo athlete to receive a Division I athletic scholarship in the city of Chicago for Chicago Public Schools. So it was a busy spring with him and I and getting the social media around terms in the city of Chicago, talking to a bunch of people about his accomplishment, not just as himself, but as a team member, a leader on his team, and what took him to get to that next level. And honestly, he had the same kind of path as I did, and I was very excited to like share my story with him and him share a story with me. And I told him I'm going to share the story a little bit of him on on the podcast and everything else. He said it was quite all right for him. But I did send you a little photo. You'll see a picture of him. He's a wonderful gentleman. He's been going out to Wagner University out east, and I will be going visiting one of his tournaments at probably at where would it be at? Where's it at? Oh my gosh, Harvard, something like that. He'll be going to Harvard. That's where we're going to a tournament in Harvard. That's what we're be doing. So
A
it's a
little
great
place
time for
called Harvard. Yeah.
little place called Harvard. I forgot. So we're gonna go there and watch him in the water polo. And being set in the Midwest and a water polo athlete is very hard, as we know. Like it's mostly a West Coast thing or very far East Coast. So being a Midwest guy, born and raised, for him it's a huge accomplishment to even get that task. So I'm very proud of Tobias Zeke, and I'm hope one day I know I'm gonna send this podcast to his mom, and she's gonna love it.
Well, again, congratulations on that.
Yeah.
The first one in the history of the school. That's got to be exciting.
School and district. Yeah,
Uh,
district wide too.
oh, for the Chicago district
The
too. Oh my
Chicago
goodness.
district.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, if you can, geez, my mind is racing here. Obviously, as athletic directors, we want to promote our school, our program, our student athletes, the coaches. Um, Prior to the announcement that he found out and you found out, I'm going to guess there was some promotion, if you will, on social media, at least maybe internally. Can you kind of
Yeah.
walk our listeners through your process? How do you, promote your teams? And then when this
hmm
happened, what were some of the things you did to really get the word out there?
Well, I didn't know till the day of signing day, actually. It's signing day. I'm like, I'm listening. So what I did, I promoted our, natural signing letter of intent. We ended up doing one in not this February because we didn't have many kids sign up yet. We didn't know where they're going officially, but this year we had a different process. But it was my first spring here at the school. So what we did is in May, the same day as we did in May, other things before graduation for our students. So right before the graduation, we did a national signing day for our athletes. We ended up having what was it, two D2 and three D1, and then the rest are like community college and NAIA, which we're all proud of all of them for doing that, every
Mhm.
single one of them. And but Tobias being the biggest one. So what I did, I just promoted my social media, my accounts, my Twitter account, or not my school at Twitter account,
Right.
our school Instagram account, about coming out and see the kids, to families and friends, sending a letter to their college coaches to come make it. So a couple of them did a Zoom in type thing. That was great to have them zoom in and then watch because our student Tobias, his coach is out in Wagner University out east, so obviously he couldn't make it this way, but be able to be part of that moment for him. So I promoted that for about 2 weeks, and then to the school as well. We had a lot of students come out, our student athletes supporting our student athletes, coming watching that whole situation. It was wonderful to have. And then that day, whenever I sent it to central office actually, central office downtown Chicago. to our Office of Sports Administration. And I said, hey, we have a guys here. We're all doing National Signing Days. Like, I love that you guys are doing this. We need to promote this more. Thanks, Frank, for doing this, having a great time. We're gonna come out. I'm like, cool, gonna come out. Awesome. And like, oh, just so you know, our communications and social media guy or historian guy downtown goes, just to let you know, Tobias is the first water polo athlete to receive a Division One. I'm like, what do you mean? The first one? I mean, there's other guys. Like, there's plenty other guys who are here. Look at the bigger schools like Tech, Walter, the born and bred winner schools, and our little neighborhood school has our student. He's like, are you sure? He's like, I'm pretty sure. I'm like, double triple check that because I'm going to blast this all over our entire city to promote not just him, but the water polo because water
Right.
polo being
Yeah.
so low. And he's like, no, for sure. I triple checked myself. And so I found this out about an hour beforehand, and his mother didn't know yet. I ended up telling Tobias himself right before he walked up to the table, and I made a quick announcement as his mom's sitting there, like just letting you know, everybody, that all 100 something people were there, that Tobias is the first one to receive a D1 scholarship in the city of Chicago for Chicago Public Schools as a water polo. And his mom just broke down, make me cry right now because it was like the way she reacted, knowing that not just him as an athlete, but a student athlete, and what we did to help push him become successful. His mother was so grateful for that moment, not knowing that having that situation and having that staple in the city of Chicago for him and like always representing in water polo was a huge foundation for him. And then that's what his little tour, his little sports tour was about, founding the foundation of water polo and what made him a great student athlete. The foundations of sports. The foundation of sports made him a great student athlete. So that's what that was fun.
Well, you touched on so many important points, I think, for our listeners.
Hmm.
Number one, I mean, you're actually doing something. I hear so many stories of, kids, they get their offers and,
Hmm.
they sign their letters of intent, and there's absolutely no recognition at all at the school. So good for you for doing that. And I know most of our ADs do that, but
Yeah.
also you did your research. You thought, hey, this is a pretty big deal, but let's
Yeah.
double check, let's triple check. And then the other thing, and again, there's a ton, but the other thing that stuck out for me was these are important for the kids, but and the community at large, but also sometimes it's a bigger deal for the parents that they're you're doing these moments for them, and just very very cool. So glad that
Yeah.
it's all turning out because again you got
Yeah.
some other things planned.
Mhm.
What was some of the feedback you got? I guess from the mom. From the student athlete, from the student population in general,
Yeah.
about the way you celebrated this event.
Well, my student athlete, he doesn't like publicity, but I told him he has to enjoy it while I can. Being a athlete in general and being like I told him in the college level, you're gonna be the public light no matter what. Especially now. No matter what level you're at, you're gonna be the public light, wherever that neighborhood's at, wherever little town you go to, you're gonna be that little star. So you gotta start getting used to that a little bit. But his mom wasn't expecting a big hurrah. And I'm like, I'm a person where I want to make sure everyone's like, I like to serve others, giving service, make sure they are understanding that I'm not just here for myself, I'm here for other people and understand like I want to and every little accomplishment that these students get and receive, I want to be able to promote that and expose that, not just like I said for those student athletes, but their families, the school. It could be something so small that can turn into something so big and make it the school a much more well-rounded place. So it's
Mhm.
not in the long run, it's more of like the big picture, not the small picture itself. The kids thought it was crazy that he did it. That was wild. Like, how did you know this? They were all like talking, did you know this? Like, Miss Frank, how'd you know this? I'm like, I got my ways. I have my ways. I know people. I'm an oracle sometimes. They like, yeah, they come. Sometimes they call me Miss Frank the Wizard. So I'm here and there every once in a while because I know a few things here and there. But it's pretty fun to have the kids get excited for one student having those moments for themselves. So it was great. But what I do myself, like I see myself as a servant, a public servant, as we all do in the community. And it doesn't matter public, private sector, as a student, as an athletic director or a teacher or an like an old AD podcast, like we're serving others to make sure they become more successful in themselves. So I want to think like as to say this, what is it we call it? C.S. Lewis. I had this written down because I read it a couple of times. Don't think less of yourself. Think of yourself less. Don't think less of yourself, think of yourself less. And that's what I kind of live by and strive by. And I kind of found this actually before we started scheduling this. I was thinking of these things after our last podcast. And so that was kind of like sticking in my mind how I can bring that quote and into the community. So that's what I've done.
Well, what a great quote. I'm writing that one down for my records. That is wonderful. Now, for our listeners, you are finishing, well, you are in your first year as the athletic director at Senn. Um, can you share any, lessons learned or any plans going forward? Whether it's scholarship recognition or otherwise. Let's can we squeeze in a few Kelsi Frank tools in this segment?
Yes, we can. I could talk for hours. You know this. So for the fall, this fall, we're changing a lot of things up. More organization, since it is like the first time being a full-time athletic director here at Sin, they have stapled here. I'm doing a lot of overhauling of reorganizing things, making sure everything's laid out and easy for these coaches so they don't have to think. And my job is to literally lay it out like a platter, like a silver platter for them. But like what I've learned this spring and so far, that as an athletic director in a bigger school district, not to react to a lot of things. Overreaction. We work with a lot of intense people. We work with a lot of intense families during situations, and we must learn how to keep was it learn to not react, but learn to think logically and not reactionally. So I've learned that the logic will come through if we don't get it personal with it. I think I said this before. Don't take stuff personal. I know it's so hard to do that, especially in this area, in this realm of athletics. Like, are you sure? Like, oh, I know what I'm doing. Oh, you do? Things like this. But like being an athletic director, you have to always think logically, not reactionally. And that's my big words of wisdom, especially for the fall. Now we know football is crazy. No matter where you're at, football's always that time of year. It's always a good time. So I'm keeping that in mind when I come to the football for boys and our flag football. So I'm really excited about that. And we do have a few girls who are looking actually to few scholarship rounds for flag football coming up for a couple of colleges. So that's a big thing for us.
Boy, flag football is such a huge sport here in Florida. How long has it been a sport? And again, I know this is your first year
Yeah.
being an AD, but yeah, how long has it been a sport in the Chicago, Illinois area?
I think it's been like 3, 4 years now, and now the NFHS has official rule book now. If you didn't notice that, started July
Mhm.
1. It's now an official rule book that we're adapting here. So it's been a whirlwind of fun. Our girls, we have one girl who's actually getting a scholarship. She just got a scholarship. That's another one, a big, huge thing, to play at Western for flag football. And we have 3 other girls who are going to be recruiting for the fall for other schools in Illinois as well. So it's been, and CPS has been a huge blow up. We do have a just all girls team right now, but we're looking to do a co-ed team as well. So
Wow, that's fantastic. Well, Kelsey, yeah, thanks so much for sharing that tremendous news about your student athlete. First water polo D1 scholarship. If one of our listeners wanted to reach out, find out a little bit more about how that happened, how you helped promote it, or just add you to their network, because listeners, I think you got a tremendous resource here. What's the best way that they can connect with Kelsey Frank?
they can catch me at kfrank1 at cps.edu. That's KFRANK1 at cps.edu. I also have my cell, but we can do that for another time.
Well, and again, if you missed Kelsey's interview, I'm going to guess it was in the
Right.
630s.
Uh-huh.
Check
Yeah.
that out
Yeah.
on YouTube and on Spotify. Some great tips there from Kelsey.
Mhm.
Um, all the best with the rest of the summer and with your first fall at Senn High School. And we're going to be looking forward to connecting in person at this year's NADC in Tampa.
Yes, cannot wait. It's gonna be nice and cozy down there, right? December.
Absolutely. Definitely a little bit warmer than Chicago. Yeah,
Yes, it will
I
be.
promise you that.
Yes.
Hey, for our listeners, we appreciate you tuning in. And just a reminder that we do upload the Zoom recordings of every interview to the Educational 80 Podcast YouTube channel. We do Wednesday Wisdom just about every week and just about every day. We try to share stories from the world of athletics along with some best practices. So please come back and join us again on the next episode of the Educational 80 Podcast. We'll see you next time. And before we go, we're going to give our sponsors one more shout out. Go to Gipper.com. Start creating world-class marketing content for your school's social media channel. Sideline Interactive, indoor score tables and video boards. You've heard me say it. The best purchase I ever made as an AD was our Sideline Interactive indoor score table. Home Campus is the official platform for a number of states and for thousands of ADs, and you can be a home campus school. Just go to homecampus.com, mention the podcast. That's homecampus.com. Ohio University is one of the leading providers of master's degrees in athletic administration. My assistant AD, along with thousands of others, got his master's through the Ohio program. We want to thank Hometown. It's more than digital ticketing, but it's still the number one digital ticketing provider. Go to hometown.com to find out all the things they can do for you and your school. Vital Signs Wall of Fame. If you're looking for that really cool way to display your school record boards or your school's Hall of Fame, go to vitalsignswalloffame.com. Snap Race. We used it at our school with tremendous success. It's so easy to use and it's so effective. Snap Raise works. Go to snapraise.com. Huddle. As a football coach, I used it. As an AD, we were a huddle school. Go to huddle.com. See all the things that they have in their platform to help you and your program. And athletic surveys. Go to athleticsurveys.com. They're going to create a custom survey that lets you take the pulse of everybody in your program. Athleticsurveys.com. Thanks again for listening. We'll see you next time on the Educational AD Podcast.